The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Moreno-Ong tandem is currently in Batangas to meet their supporters and other local officials in the vote-rich province. We have Marian Enriquez joining us this morning, giving us the latest from Batangas. Marian, good morning.
Yes, Riza, good morning. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno, presidential aspirant Mayor Isko Moreno attended the convention of I Am Filipinas and One Batangas here at the Claro M. Recto Events Place in Lipa City. Moreno received a warm welcome from the vote-rich province, to which the Acción Democrático confirms is just their first stop in their trip around the country. In his speech, Moreno reiterated his call to the public not to focus on the squabble of two families or other contenders. For Moreno, the focus should be the welfare of the over 100 million Filipinos. Senatorial bet Samira Gutok is also present in the event. She admitted that criticisms and calls for her to transfer to the camp of Vice President Leni Robredo affected her mental health. She maintained that she has not changed her principles and that her core vision of helping the Filipino people is still alive. Gutok says Mayor Isko also has not prevented her from speaking independently and standing firmly with her own beliefs. Meanwhile, the Interior Department has said that it will investigate the One Batangas event for possible violations over its potential of being a super spreader event. Mayor Isko said that the agency is entitled to hold such a probe, but he assures the government that there was due diligence in implementing standard health protocols during the event. Senator Ralph Recto, who leads the One Batangas, said that they are throwing their full support to Mayor Isko, as 2/3 of Batangas mayors and all district representatives are members of their group. Also present in the event are Moreno's running mate Doc Willie Ong and other Acción Democrático senatorial bets like Carlo Balita. Riza, Senator Recto said that a lot of contenders for the 2022 elections are wooing Batangueños, but they are, eyeing, the party is eyeing to give or deliver at least 1 million votes for Moreno. Riza.
Thank you for that update. That's Marian Enriquez reporting live from Lipa City in Batangas. And we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Finance Secretary Sonny Dominguez expects the economy to be more robust as the country lifts mobility restrictions, especially among those vaccinated. Let's find out more about the country's economic response as the pandemic drags on in this Bloomberg interview.
You know, there's been some criticism that the Philippines didn't move quickly enough to maybe solve some problems with the early steps that were taken to contain the virus, including the 1991 law that, decentralized health control, and that made it hard for the federal government to control what was going on out in the villages and in other regions. Any thought by the government now to perhaps change that old law to not have it get in the way again?
Well, basically, right after the virus struck us in March, we came up with a new law that empowers our health department, gives more power to our health department. However, we do still work together with the local governments, and it's been very successful. Our death rate actually is only around 38 per 100,000 population, and that's much lower than other countries like the U.S., Belgium, and similar countries. So we've quite handled the coronavirus death rates.
What's your target debt to GDP ratio? I know it's up around 60 right now. And do you have plans to bring it down? Especially
Yes.
at a time when you're just getting ready to borrow, you're ready to spend another almost $1 trillion to get more vaccines for booster shots on top of over $1 trillion earlier this year. How are you working that all out?
Well, in our case, we think that a maximum of 60% the debt to GDP ratio is manageable for us. And we believe that our economy is going to be very robust as soon as the restrictions on mobility are lifted. As you know, we did not lose any of our infrastructure, unlike in a war. We still have a very good population. Average age is 25. They're very well educated. They want to work and are very good workers. In fact, the demand for Filipino workers abroad is still very strong. By the way, from January to July of this year, our foreign remittances, inward remittances from Filipino workers actually increased 6% over last year to over 17 billion pesos, $17 billion this year.
Okay.
So we're very confident that we will emerge from this pandemic in a very good shape.
Now here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. The pilot run of pediatric vaccinations for COVID-19 begins today. The World Health Organization is now recommending booster shots for select individuals. And the cinemas and other recreation centers gear up for Metro Manila's shift to Alert Level 3 starting tomorrow. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 1 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on a Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.